All right, ABC family, good morning. Today is Wednesday, October the 21st. Bringing you another midweek encouragement from John's Gospel. So last week we took a break because I was kind of overwhelmed with thankfulness for you in response to Pastor's Appreciation. So we looked at Philippians, and before that we had left off at John chapter 9. We finished John chapter 9, so I'm going to read the first part of John chapter 10, another very famous passage from John where Jesus talks about him being the shepherd and us being his sheep. And he talks about some important characteristics of him as a shepherd and important characteristics of us as the sheep that are incredibly encouraging. And so I hope they're a ministry to your heart this week. Before I read that, though, I want to say as a reminder that this coming Sunday, we will be outside in the front lawn. Weather's supposed to be nice, so if all stays the same with the weather, we'll do that. No live streaming, so I'm going to try to record the sermon. So the sermon will go up on the website, but not the usual live stream. So please come and join us. We're trying to think through as much as we can accommodations for everybody so people can come and bring a blanket. You know, families can be together. If you are still very nervous about everything, trying to set up space, so that if you want to park in your car, you can. Of course, there's plenty of room. We're a small family, so I would still encourage you to get out and get on the grass and enjoy being a part of the family with us, even if you keep your distance. But we are making provisions for those kind of things. So tomorrow, I want to send you a video of just kind of the layout, kind of like I did before back in, I guess it was May, maybe with our outdoor service we did, and just give you some, what to expect. So be on the lookout for that. But John chapter 10 is the text for this morning. Verse 1, I tell you the truth, the man who does not enter the sheep pen, the man who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. But the man who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out. And when he's brought out all of his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because, this is important, they know his voice. They become attuned to his voice, and they trust it. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they don't recognize a stranger's voice. And then it says, Jesus used this figure of speech, but they didn't understand what he was telling them. So he said again, I tell you the truth, I am the gate for the sheep. And all who ever came before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate, he says again, and whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy, but I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. I'm the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd who owns the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and he runs away. And then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he's a hired hand and he cares nothing for the sheep. But then he says again, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen, and I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. And the reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. And this command I have received from the Father. So I was struck by and encouraged by this week what Jesus says about himself as the shepherd and us as the sheep. So just a few observations to encourage your heart this week. First thing is he says, I am the gate. So later he says, I am the shepherd. But he also, in this analogy, says, I'm the gate. And that's important. And everyone who was there would have understood what he meant when he says, I am the way, the truth, the life. I'm the gate. If you want to get to the Father, you got to go through the gate. Everybody else, all these thieves, all these robbers, they've got to hop the fence. and they're out for no good. But I am the gate. If you want to get to the Father, if you want to have a relationship with the Father, you have to go through the gate of Jesus. And I was thinking about the contrast to the gate that gets you to the Father, as opposed to like in the military or in the police world, you might have something like a controlled access point, which is that you set this up and everybody has to come through this narrow choke point, but it's for the purpose of knowing who's going in and out. It's to control the access to whatever it is that the gate is set up for. But this is not set up for control. This is not, as a means like spying, like Big Brother that we think of. Jesus says, I'm the gate and I'm open to the Father. But if you want to get through the Father, you got to go through the gate. And people were offended by these words. At these words, verse 19, the Jews were again divided. And this is a pattern that John does over and over again, to talk about Jesus as the way to the Father. But he also says, not only am I the gate, but I'm also the shepherd. And this is important. This is super important. He is the one who leads. He is the one who guides. He's not only the way to the Father, but he is the shepherd taking care of the sheep. And if you notice the modifier that he puts, he doesn't just say, I am the shepherd. He says, I am the good shepherd. And he says it multiple times, over and over and over again. I'm the good shepherd. And so we can trust this good shepherd. He knows us. He loves us. By the way, did you guys just see that ant go across the camera? What in the world? I was sitting here and I saw this look like a huge bug. But anyway, how weird is that? So I figured you were as distracted as I was, so I had to call attention to it. But I know my sheep know me. The shepherd that we have is not just a shepherd. He's not just someone placed there to make sure that we, all stay alive or something. He's the good shepherd. He cares for us. He loves us. He, as it says over and over again, lays down his life for the sheep. The good shepherd loves the sheep so much that not only does he tend to them, not only does he care for them, but he also is completely trustworthy. He gives of himself. He offers himself so that the sheep can be safe, and so that the sheep even can feel safe and cared for and loved for. But he also says of the sheep a couple important things, that these sheep know his voice because they listen. They know what he sounds like. They know his tone. They know his presence. And so as sheep, maybe now in your life more than ever, you're in a place where you really need to be attuned to the Father's voice, to know what he sounds like again, to be aware of his presence in your life. And one of the most comforting things about the shepherd is that he's always there. Even at the end when he says, I lay down my life, he says, of course, looking forward to the resurrection, but I pick it back up again. I'm the one who lays it down only to take it back up again. And so this shepherd is ever present. He doesn't abandon the sheep and run away when the wolf attacks. He's there to fight off the wolf. And so I wanted to use this as a reminder to you of the presence of the good shepherd, that Jesus is there, that he loves you, that he cares for you, that he is fighting actively on your behalf for your spiritual good as we speak. But also encourage you to continue to be attuned to his voice. Continue to visit him in the pages of Scripture. Continue to spend time in prayer with others. We have Tuesday night prayer every Tuesday night at 6:30, and I can't encourage you enough to join. It's a blessing to be able to come together with God's people, even when we may not feel like it. That I've said before, I come to those things sometimes a little tired and worn out, and a little hesitant sometimes, but I always leave feeling spiritually rejuvenated because I've been with Jesus and I've been with God's people. I've been with you. So make sure you're attuned to his voice, and in times of chaos, in times of turmoil, be reminded of the shepherd that you have. It's not just any shepherd, it's the good shepherd who loves you, who lays down his life for you, who cares for you, who is always on the lookout for you and for your well-being, and he's completely trustworthy. So give your life to him and obey what he says. So that's your encouragement for the week. I look forward to seeing you Sunday again. Please, this is your pastor begging you, come on Sunday and join us. The weather's supposed to be great. It's just such a good thing to get together. There's something supernatural that happens when God's people assemble. And it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord. So please join us. We'll be there. We'll be out on the front lawn, hoping to make that a somewhat regular thing in the future as long as the weather's nice. So love you, church. Pray this was an encouragement to your heart. Please continue to reach out if you need anything, and I look forward to seeing you Sunday morning. All right. God bless you.